Brad Marchand is easily one of the premier players in the National Hockey League. The 35-year-old winger has become one of the best scorers in the game, and he set himself apart for his tenacious style of play and seemingly uncanny ability to make a play out of nothing. There's a reason why the Boston Bruins have made Marchand their captain. He leads both on and off the ice, and he's proven to be one of the most clutch players in the league. Despite his small stature, Marchand has made a name for himself, with his speed and tenacity working to his advantage. But what about his life off the ice? Let's take you into all you need to know about Brad Marchand. Bradley Kevin Marchand was born in May 1988 in Nova Scotia, Canada, the son of two local hockey coaches. We can kind of say that Marchand had hockey in his veins from childhood. Marchand's father, Kevin, had actually been known as a bit of an enforcer in his own playing days. And let's just say that Brad himself is a bit of a chip off the old block. He began playing hockey when he was just 2, hot-headed from the start. Brad had to take anger management classes when he was a teenager and was even enrolled in a sports psychology session to help address his on-ice issues. At this point, Marchand had become something of a prodigy, and his career began at the amateur level. Marchand's junior career began in 2004, playing with the Moncton Wildcats of the QMJHL. The team drafted him 24th overall, but Marchand quickly established himself, winning Rookie of the Year in his first season. His sophomore season was even better, with Marchand scoring 66 goals as the Wildcats won the President's Cup championship. At the same time, Marchand was already getting some buzz from the NHL. The Bruins had been scouting him, and they traded with the New York Islanders to get the rights to draft him in 2006. By that year's draft, Marchand was selected 71st overall. Still, Marchand didn't quite get into the league just yet. He was traded to the Val-d'Or Foreurs in 2006 and was traded again to the Halifax Mooseheads in 2007. Realizing that he was still a raw talent, the Bruins designated Marchand to their summer training camp. He spent the 2008-09 AHL season with the Providence Bruins before finally making his NHL debut in October 2009. Hey everyone, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is really important for us, so give us a shout out, like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. When Marchand got to the Bruins, he signed a 3-year deal worth about $2.5 million. In his very first game, he got an assist against the Nashville Predators. He got another call-up to the Bruins towards the end of the 2009 season, and this time, he made sure to cement his place. By the 2010 season, Marchand had solidified himself as a member of the Bruins squad, and in November of that year, he bagged his very first NHL goal. He finished the season with 41 points, and this would just be the start. The next season, Marchand had 19 points in 25 playoff games, including 2 goals and an assist in Game 7 of the finals as the Bruins took the Stanley Cup. Marchand's impressive run continued into his second season, but another noticeable trend began to show: his aggression. The suspensions and fines racked up over the years, with Marchand showing a knack for just about getting on the nerves of any and everyone. As the years rolled by, Marchand continued to do pretty well on the ice. The Bruins went through a bit of an adjustment phase, trading Marchand's linemate Tyler Seguin and replacing him with Louis Eriksson. Marchand and Eriksson struggled to gel, although things got better after Eriksson was replaced by David Krejci. By the 2017 season, Marchand got on a scoring rush. He put up 2 goals and 5 points in the very first game, and even got his first All-Star selection in January of that year. But that anger issue continued as he got several fines, suspensions, and media controversies as a result of his penchant for hitting his opponents. He did decide to improve on his character, and after scoring 100 points in the 2018-19 season, things definitely began to look up. The Bruins lost that Stanley Cup final that year, but hey, at least Marchand was scoring. Well, here's the thing. Marchand wasn't quite done with his anger just yet. His streak of suspensions continued in the 2021-22 season, with Marchand picking up a total of 9 suspensions that game alone. In terms of individuals, Marchand also became the most suspended player in NHL history that year. To make things worse, the Bruins got bounced in the first round of the playoffs despite setting the record for wins and points in an NHL season. Prior to the 2023 season, the Bruins announced that Marchand would be named the team's 27th captain.
Captain for the centennial year and moving forward is Brad Marchand.
He succeeded the retired Patrice Bergeron and has continued to show his exemplary leadership skills, as the Bruins would no doubt be looking to make another playoff march this year as well. It's a popular fact that the NHL is a very physical league, Superstars have to put their bodies through a bunch of contact, and that in itself means that there is a lot of potential for conflict. In fact, there are certain players in the history of the NHL who have made names for themselves based on just how brash and controversial they can be. And in the case of Brad Marchand, his resume definitely stacks up there with the best of the best. Marchand's first suspension came in 2011, when he got a 2-game penalty for shoving RJ Umberger of the Blue Jackets. That was a pretty nasty event, but it was just the beginning. The next year, he got a 5-game suspension for an illegal hit to the head of the Tampa Bay Lightning Sammy Salo, an event that also saw him receive a $150,000 fine. Fast forward to 2015, and Marchand got 2 separate suspensions. The first came after he slew-footed the Rangers' Derek Brassard, and another for clipping Mark Borovetsky of the Ottawa Senators. In 2017, he missed the 2 final regular season games due to a suspension after he speared the Lightning's Jake Dotchin. He was back at it in 2018, receiving a 5-game suspension after he elbowed the New Jersey Devils' Marcus Johansson in the head. The call was controversial, as some people believed Marchand made a mistake, but his history of questionable plays meant that he wasn't going to be getting the benefit of the doubt. Along with the suspension, Marchand also had to pay $375,000 in fines. In November 2021, Marchand got a 3-game suspension after he slew-footed the Vancouver Canucks' Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And a few months later, he got another suspension after he roughed and high-sticked the Pittsburgh Penguins goaltender Tristan Jarry. The latter event earned Marchand a 6-game ban, as well as a $450,000 fine. In total, Marchand has gotten 28 games and suspensions, as well as fines racking up to over $1.4 million. It's kind of become a trend for players to keep their private lives, well, private. And as you can imagine, Marchand kind of follows this trend as well. After securing his biggest contract, he purchased a home in the Charleston neighborhood of Boston, which has been valued at about $3.5 million. The property is said to have 4 bedrooms, a gym, and a rooftop deck. Marchand's Charleston home is an upgrade from the North End penthouse where he used to live, a penthouse which he reportedly sold for $2.85 million. Besides this, he's also said to own a sprawling lakefront estate in Nova Scotia. Outside of hockey, Marchand is said to enjoy crossbow hunting. His social media is filled with photos and videos of him out in the wild, and even him starting an outdoor sports company with his former teammate, Kevin Miller, known as March and Milko. On September of 2015, Marchand settled down, married his wife Katrina. Katrina is said to be a home designer who hails from Bristol, Rhode Island, and she's been a Bruins fan her entire life, so you can kind of see where the attraction comes from. The couple has 2 daughters together, although Katrina has a child from a previous relationship. Beside all of this, Marchand is known to be a man with deep community roots. Back in 2011, Nova Scotia Mayor Peter Kelly declared August 29th to be Brad Marchand Day, praising the player for being an inspiration to the youths in the community and always giving back to the people of Nova Scotia.